Most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. It might be April 11th, but we got a winter storm system that is going to soon be working its way into the Beehive State. Right now, this system is working its way into northeast Nevada, where we have valley rain and mountain snow. We're likely going to see valley rain and mountain snow in northern Utah as we go throughout this afternoon into this evening before the colder air really works its way in, where we could start to see straight valley snow. And by tonight into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see that wet weather move down into southern Utah. In the meantime, we're seeing cloud coverage really begin to ramp up in northern Utah, where as we look from Deer Valley, it's an absolutely beautiful view. But there's no doubt we have seen increased cloud coverage from earlier this morning, where we did have a beautiful sunrise. Then down in southern Utah with our Dixie Tech camera in St. George, increasing clouds here. But if you look off in the distance, you can actually see a little bit of blowing dust. Those winds have continued to increase, and those winds are really going to be whipping in the central and southern half of the state as we go from mid-afternoon into tonight, where we have multiple wind advisories and a high wind warning in effect. That high wind warning is from Hanksville down towards Kanab, where we could see some wind gusts around 65 miles per hour. And even though the Wasatch Front and our northern Utah mountains are not included within this wind advisory, we have already seen wind gusts around 35 to 40 miles per hour. It is going to be windy across the board. If you're driving those high-profile vehicles, make sure that both hands are on the wheel, but we also could see times of power outages and blowing dust across the state. We have winter storm warnings that are now in effect for our northern Utah mountains, winter weather advisories for our central mountains, the Wasatch Plateau, the eastern Uintas, and southwestern Wyoming. Within the advisory, we're going to see likely between 5 and 10 inches of snow through early Wednesday and 1 to 2 feet of snow. Very much a possibility within the warning. And on top of the chance for valley rain, mountain snow, and then straight snow across the board in northern Utah, we also could see a few rumbles of thunder. And anytime we talk about thunderstorms, we're not expecting severe weather, but heavy precipitation, gusty winds, and lightning will be possible. And that could add to our totals of what we could see with that added convection. So let's begin the futurecast. 1 o'clock this afternoon. The chance for valley rain and mountain snow will continue to increase. This is 5 o'clock this afternoon, where forecast models have been very consistent, showing a very heavy band of wet weather setting up over the Wasatch Front as we get right into our drive time this evening. So something to keep in mind there. And depending on how heavy this is, we could see that transition happen a little bit earlier. Most forecast models have started to show that transition to valley snow around 11 o'clock tonight, but it could happen as early as 9, 10 o'clock, depending on how heavy things are. And then we'll see that chance for wet weather increasing in southern Utah, where St. George could pick up some rain, maybe straight snow down in Cedar City. Then wet weather likely going to be scattered in nature when it comes to just straight snow for our Tuesday and into our Wednesday as well, mainly favoring the northern 2/3 of the state, as our temperatures are going to be well below our seasonal averages. But in terms of our snowfall forecast, a trace to 4 inches along the Wasatch Front. But in terms of how much we're going to see on the roads, it's really going to depend on the temperature. Northern benches 2 to 6, mountain valleys 4 to 8, northern mountains 10 to 18, but in isolated pockets could see upwards of 2 feet. Central mountains and also southwestern Wyoming 5 to 10, southern mountains 3 to 8. And our central and southern valleys are likely going to pick up rain to possibly 3 inches of snow. And our regional forecast daytime highs today are going to be close to our seasonal averages, but after today, it's going to be a long time before that happens. In St. George, we get middle 70s with the potential of blowing dust. 42 tonight, a chance of rain mainly early on Tuesday, but those temperatures in St. George will moderate by the end of the week. Meanwhile, on the Wasatch Front, valley rain and mountain snow later this afternoon to the evening before we likely start to see that transition straight into valley snow. Overnight low dropping to 30 degrees tonight, 40 for a high tomorrow, 42 on our Wednesday. And even though the chance for wet weather is not going to run as high Thursday into Friday, we're going to at least keep that chance as our daytime highs try to get closer to our seasonal average. If you